What's up everyone, I hope you're all having an amazing day. Today we are going to be assembling the T90 transmission for my Jeep. Now, the thing about this is there were a couple parts I had to order because they were totally smashed up from before. And a couple of them look a bit different, but I think we should be able to make it work. So let me show you guys what I got and what we're gonna get started with. So we've got some roller bearings and washers for the counter shaft. We've got some roller bearings for the... and then we've got various clips, some springs and pawls for the synchros, and then we've got poppet balls, a couple of...
All these transmission guys are going to watch this and go, geez, what an idiot. This guy is such a douchebag. Failed Legos.
Then I've got my shaft retainer, a splash plate, I'm pretty sure, and right off the bat, we kind of have an issue because the new reverse and first gear that I got are straight, and the ones that I was trying to replace are angled. Not to mention the splines in this first gear are completely different from this one, and this reverse gear has a bushing as opposed to this one, which uses roller bearings. So I've hopefully dressed these two gears enough to where I can use them. You can see where the damage used to be on that one. There's still a little pit there, but...
Just like that one time I got sick after eating my mom's chili.
They're mostly smooth, and they should be just fine for use. You can see there's some heavy chunks out of it still there, but I think it should be smooth enough to use, so we're going to give them a shot. Just like my D18 video, my reference for this is Schnitzelhaus's T90 rebuild video, and the link for that will be in the description. It's an absolutely amazing, thorough video of just like going through it and every part of the rebuild process. So that's what I'm going to be following today. So now I'm going to put another washer in and seal that off. Okay, so here's the plan. The intermediate shaft perfectly fits one set of bearings on one side and on the other, and I can tell on this shaft just kind of by looking at where it was worn. Even after buffing it, you can see where the old bearings sat. So I'm okay with only using two sets on it. And the thing is, since this reverse gear uses bearings, I'm going to use these, since I have a bunch more, these two washers to finish that off. Now what I've got to do is carefully drop the intermediate shaft down. I almost forgot to install my thrust washers. So the issue that I had was that I was using these roller bearings that came with it, and the roller bearings that are actually supposed to be in there are a little bit smaller, and so I found the old ones that go in there, and she fit up just perfectly fine, a lot better than with the other ones. So that's in there now. Got the synchros all together and working. They still slide back and forth, I think. Yeah. So, yep. Real quick, everyone, do not make the same mistake that I did. I figured out in this video that there was a crucial part that was missing. This ring right here, this stupid little ring, is supposed to fit between the edge of that shaft. There's a lip on the main shaft, and between that bearing, like this, that's the bearing plate. There's a bearing inside of there, and this fits between it. This, not having this, made it so that I can't go into second gear. What happens is you try to push the synchro ring back to second gear, and the entire main shaft just like slides backwards and then keeps it from locking in. So we'll figure out very soon the result of that, and hint, hint, it's not pretty. Well, ladies and gentlemen, everything seems to be working really good on the T90. It feels nice and solid. There's a couple things I'm worried about, and if this isn't normal, let me know. In the main bearing here, there's some up and down play. Or, well, I guess it would be like side-to-side wiggling. I don't know if that's normal. It doesn't seem like it would be right. And then, also, this plate keeps coming out because it's kind of loose, but the bearing itself, the main bearing there, seems to be pretty solid. Other than that, everything seems to be working super well. So now it's going to be time to bolt the T90 up to the D18 transfer case. So my reverse idler gear just seized up. Okay, I got the tranny and transfer separated again, and I don't know what's going on because it's perfectly fine now. Like, the idler shaft is spinning just fine. Yeah, I really don't know what happened there. And my gasket ripped. But hopefully I can just put a little bit of sealant back on where it ripped, and then just stick it back together and see if the problem happens again. So I got the transmission and transfer case back together, and as you can see, when I go to spin it, I can still spin it now at the front, and everything is spinning perfectly fine. And as soon as I took it apart, it just fixed itself. I don't know why, so it really worries me because it could be anything. Hopefully, when I put this thing back in and start it up for the first time, I don't just start hearing like roller bearings just like crunching around and stuff. But we should be fine. So the next thing I need to do is bolt up the bell housing adapter and the bell housing itself. The thing should be ready to go back in the Jeep. Before you make the same mistake I did, before you put on this plate, you're going to want to put this e-brake arm on first. I actually had to go back and look at my own video to see how this went in, but yep, it's just like that, angling backwards like this, and there's a castle nut, I haven't put it on yet, that goes on the other side, and then a cotter pin that goes through it. Then when you put the old nasty brake shoes on that should definitely not be used again, but you're using them anyway because you don't feel like getting them relined yet. What you want to do is you want to get these with the holes on the single side as opposed to the two holes. Is you want to get these over here by the adjustment screws lined up, and then over here you want to get it between this plate and this weird lever cam thing, and those are going to rest right there. One thing I forgot about is this clutch cable bracket. You need to put some thread sealant on that bolt, bolt it into there on the transfer like that, and then this hole lines up with that bolt. Should look just like that. Now for the transfer shifter linkage, I'm just going to put some grease on this sliding surface, this bushing surface, and on these points here. And then this linkage goes on with the shifter facing up, comes around this way. You just have to kind of do some finagling to get it on just like that. Now with that on, you're gonna take your pins and slide them in. Oh wait, this one's too short. There we go. So since the driving in the snow video, where I figured out that I had to put it in low gear in order to get into four-wheel drive, figured out how to do it with this system. So if you're in here, so this is neutral, right? Well, no, that's not. Shove it back, and now we're in, oh wait, not quite. Okay, now we're in too low, right here, and if you keep pulling back a bit further, this second shifter, you gotta finagle that one too, pops into 4 low. Now, if you want to get into 4 high, all you have to do is get this just enough, since this one doesn't have a poppet ball in it, so it doesn't have as much resistance. If you just do that, then it puts you into 4-wheel high. And boom, like that, about a month later, we have the trans and transfer all together, kind of lightly, kind of medium rebuilt, but back together on the table and ready to go back into the Jeep. A few more things I gotta do, like get the clutch, the new clutch back onto the Jeep, but I mean, other than that, this thing should be ready to go back in. So that's really exciting. And thanks guys for following along with this. And if you want to see more to it and you're new here, go ahead and subscribe so you can check out more of this stuff. So next video, be looking forward to seeing this tranny go right into that there Jeep. See you guys.